So the first memory that comes to mind when it comes to Taylor Swift was her song Love Story, back when it was still popular on my elementary school days. Hell, I mean, the first song that I learned to play in the guitar was her song You Belong With Me back in junior high school. So I guess it's really kind of an understatement to say that her creating music from that time up until now and still be relevant and on top of the music industry is such a great achievement.
Hello everyone.
Hope you guys are
having a good time.
And today we're going to react to her recently released album, which is called Evermore. So I asked you guys if you are going to be interested in my reaction on this thing, and you guys were, so... Now, knowing Taylor Swift's discography, most of the songs that I've heard from her were usually just using the same chords over and over again, along with the same chord progressions. But in my opinion, the part where she truly shines is her lyricism and her skill as a songwriter. She often makes songs that comes from the heart as she grows as a person throughout her life, which I think is reflective on the songs that she's made all over the years. I mean, I'd even make an assumption that a huge chunk of her audience are teenage girls back in the days, according to the women that they are now, and remain loyal fans because of her song's relatability, pretty much. So, now in the album cover, I'm getting a more matured vibe on her. Feels like that she's more at peace with herself now, and like the dust has finally settled among the painful relationships and breakups that she's been through all over the years, as well as the highs and lows of her career as well. So yeah, I haven't really listened to any of these songs yet, so this is going to be a legit first reaction review on her album. And before I forget, please subscribe and ring the notification bell down below so that you guys will be able to stay updated for my future videos. And if you guys would like me to react to anything else, such as music videos, songs, albums, just comment it down below as well, and I'll try to give it a go. So yeah, without any further ado, let's just go and jump right into it. So the first song is called Willow, and let's go and listen to it.
The more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you stray, I follow.
Is the tree the willow? It is a...
I'm begging for you to take my hand, make my plans. That's my man. Life was a willow and it bent right to your wind.
So in that track, I really felt the femininity that Taylor Swift was emanating throughout that song. And as for the message of that song, the one that I got from it was her pursuing her love interest or her man.
That's my man.
One that's kind of like rough on the edges. The one that her character sees potential in her special someone, like a spark or something. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like for women, there's this kind of fantasy with their man or like their love interest where they want to tame or at least restrain their bad boy. I feel like that's kind of also a reason why lots of films feature this kind of rom-com situations where the girl ends up to be in love with a unrefined guy who's like rough on the edges, and the person ends up being developed throughout the whole thing. I feel like it's a typical Beauty and the Beast setting. And fair enough, I mean, it's understandable that you want someone that's kind of like a gentleman, but also have this aggression deep inside them that could protect you when like trouble comes. Or, like if you want someone to defend you when it gets down to it. But yeah, a little bit of advice though. If you want to pursue someone, make sure to also set some boundaries for yourself, because you might also end up getting hurt in the process. So yeah, keep your head up, queens. And as for this song, as I've told you guys before, the chord progressions were a little bit repetitive. I mean, there's not much going on in there. It's all pretty static in my opinion. And yeah, Taylor Swift did a pretty good job when it comes to portraying us this picture of what's going on in the song. Now, personally, I will not be going back onto this one again, mainly because I don't really relate to it that much. But yeah, I really feel like I'm just not the demographic for this kind of songs that Taylor Swift makes. But if you enjoy it, feel free to listen to it. Yeah, overall it's a pretty good track. It's pretty digestible, very easy to get into. And yeah. Now the second track is called Champagne Problems. I also have problems. I also have champagne without the sham.
And I am beautiful. Because I dropped your hand while dancing, left you out there standing, crestfallen on the land in champagne problems. In your wallet, you won't remember all my champagne problems.
This song was pretty poetic in my opinion. Again, the melody was just kind of static in the background, no particular changes that are pretty significant. To be honest, I'm kind of like waiting for the song to have a key change or something, especially with how she sings the phrase champagne problems. I thought there's gonna be like a big finale in the ending for like the last chorus or something, where she's going to sing the last chorus in kind of like on like a higher pitch or something. So yeah, so this song is kind of like a confession on like the mistakes that she's done. That's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting from this song. It also feels like she's kind of blaming it on or leaning back to the champagne that she's drinking with like her problems, alcoholism. But yeah, I feel like I've missed the message of the song. It's a bit boring in my opinion. I feel like there's nothing that much going on. But yeah, I feel like she could have attacked the song on like more angles or something. So yeah, overall I really felt like Taylor Swift could have done a little bit more with the production in this song. And I don't know if it's the genre that she's trying to do with the album in general, but I really felt like it's kind of mellow for the first two songs that I've been listening to. I feel like it's going to be a pattern where the production and like the instruments that's going to be playing is not going to be the highlight of the songs, just her lyrics and the words that she's trying to say, as well as her message. I feel like that's going to be the emphasis on this one. So yeah, I don't know if it's just my music taste or my preferences on my songs, but yeah, I mean it's alright, but I'm not feeling this one either. Now, next track is called Gold Rush, and let's go and listen to it.
I don't like a gold rush, gold rush. I don't like anticipating my face in red flush.
It's more lively now compared to the last two that we've just listened to. So for the message of this song, I kind of relate to it. So the song is about her, Taylor Swift, not being tempted to pursue or like be attracted to this person that's kind of like pretty or beautiful, probably in kind of like just the physical sense. And let's just assume for this song that they're not really that great on the inside. And personally, I kind of get that, especially when it comes to like high school and like late elementary stages back in the day, where your peers and your friends back then kind of like tends to lean towards like the beautiful, pretty girls, or the heartthrobs, or like the guys who like gets the most attention from the women back then. And to be honest, I was not the popular kid back in high school.
So don't look at me.
Even though you're kind of like the heartthrob or like the pretty girl back in school back then, it's gonna creep on you on some reason. I don't know if this is just me being envious or like being jealous of like those people back then. But I feel like if you're being comfortable with your looks and like your appearance and all that stuff, in some later points in your life, you're just going to realize that appearance is not everything. Especially in like the real world where like you're going to have a job and like all that stuff. Especially with like getting relationships, because of people are going to be attracted to you and just like your appearance, and you have nothing else going on for you except your appearance. You're going to have a pretty hard time when it comes to like maintaining and like keeping relationships healthy and all this stuff, since the thing that you're used to when it comes to like attracting other people as well as getting the person that you like to like you back is your appearance pretty much, especially with your crushes and your infatuations. So yeah, either that or I'm just really jealous of like the pretty girls or like the guys who gets all the attention of the ladies back then. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being physically attractive. I'm just saying there's also some aspects in your life that you also have to tend to. So yeah, you might be able to attract all the girls in one room or like all the guys in one room, but the chances of you being able to keep them on like a long-term relationship, say like a year or two, is going to be pretty difficult for you. Maybe because you don't know how it takes to keep a relationship or like maintain it to be healthy and stuff, and you just banking on the fact that you're just pretty. But yeah, that's just my opinion though. Please don't be offended. Thank you very much. Stay subscribed. Thanks. So this song is called "'Tis the Damn Season." Assuming on the thumbnail of this video it's winter, but here it's summer and houseflies are damn everywhere. So yeah, let's go and listen to it. Taylor Swift is really big on like the acoustics.
We could call it even. You could call me babe for the weekend. 'Tis the damn season right this time.
I feel like what this song is trying to get to is trying to make a reference because December is coming, so they have to pretend or something that they're still on like good terms with each other, her and her boyfriend or something. So that's one. And the other one is, since it's winter, it's like cold. So that also kind of like references the relationship being cold towards one another. And they're not on like that healthy, happy place that they once were. So yeah, I feel like that's just the whole message of the song. So again, there's nothing much to it on like the production of the song. I feel like this song is also kind of like mellow as well. And it's also vivid on like painting this picture on like the situation between the couple as well. So yeah, huge props on like the songwriting ability as well as the lyricism shown by Taylor Swift here. Based on the lyrics here, I feel like they're still on like that crossroad on whether to continue the relationship still or just break it all off completely. I'm really trying to see here what's the appeal on like the songs of Taylor Swift. I mean, it's great. I'm still finding that one song that kind of like really connects with me on like this entire album. Now this next song is called Tolerated. Now there are some things that you need to tolerate and there are some things that you don't. Yeah.
I take your indiscretion is all in good fun.
Now I feel like the character being portrayed here by Taylor Swift is still holding on to the relationship while her partner is just staying for the sake of it, where she is trying to close the gap and pursue the man of her life, while the same said guy is trying to be distant, all in within the same relationship. I feel like at that point in the relationship, I mean, something's gotta give. Either the guy needs to break off the relationship completely or try to turn a new leaf and be more responsible when it comes to handling her feelings and the relationship itself. Or Taylor Swift, or her character in this case, should just break it all off and just give up on the guy. Now we're 5 songs in and I feel like I'm having the wrong approach when it comes to her songs. I feel like I should not approach it as such. I feel like I should just listen to them as like stories or poems that just happen to have chords and like notes and like instruments and that sort of stuff. Because if you really listen intently on the lyrics, there's really a story or like a message behind it. So yeah, I'll try to do that on the next couple songs on this album. See if I'll tend to enjoy it a little bit better that way. Because yeah, I mean, the songs that I'm currently listening to are like trap, hip hop, R&B, and they're really detail oriented when it comes to like the beats or like the production aspect of the songs, which I tend to enjoy and like bop my head to. Well, in this songs, I feel like it's much more somber, where you need to have a good listen for the lyrics that are being said in these songs. So this next song is called No Body, No Crime, and based off what I've been seeing on my social media accounts, I've been seeing that this one has a murder mystery theme to it, like one of those Sherlock Holmes stories. So this one should be pretty interesting. There's a police siren. I see you. I see you, Taylor.
SD's been losing sleep. Her husband's acting different and it smells like infidelity.
How do you know that, huh? So ST, rest in peace, was killed by her husband recklessly in order to hide the affair or something. Which is stupid if you're going to hide the affair. I mean, yeah, you did hide the affair, but now your wife's dead.
They think she did it, but they just can't prove it.
Hey.
They think she did it, but they just can't prove it.
I feel like that was the first song that I've genuinely enjoyed in this album. Either she just got lucky that the mistress moved out and filed an insurance policy claim, or that was all planned and timed by her. Either her friend was all in on it, or she was just a good friend without knowing that this woman could kill someone. Is beyond me. I mean there was not enough descriptions in the song to prove any of that. I mean, the motivation as to why she also killed her friend was not stated in the song. But I feel like if you're the killer and you're going to say why you killed a person, it's pretty self-incriminating. So I feel like she would also not be doing that. But if you're gonna go down that road, I mean, why do this whole song in the first place? So yeah, I really thought that we're going to solve a crime that Taylor Swift is going to write out in front of us in this song. I really liked the whole sinister vibe that was going on throughout the song, even though it was also pretty kind of repetitive. I really enjoyed this one and the lyrics behind it. I really think that it's pretty cool. Aside from the songwriting and her lyricism, I feel like the storytelling is also a huge strength of her as a musician as well. So yeah, I like this track. I think it's pretty good. Now this next song is called Happiness, and we're gonna go listen to it.
Showed you all of my hiding spots. I was dancing when the music stopped.
So one thing that I've started to notice when it comes to Taylor Swift singing is that she tends to explore the lower registers of this voice when it comes to this album, trying to explore that range that she has as like a singer as well, which I also think is that she's got going on there. Little cries, cruise, CR, both CR. Then the blood and the bruise, both letter B. Yeah, I took English.
Tell me what to give after that. All you want from me now is the green light of forgiveness.
So yeah, this is another song that I like in this album. I feel like this is the song that really matches what the album cover is all about. You could clearly hear the maturity that comes on the lyrics and the voice that she has here. Whether it's a platonic or a romantic relationship, the person that was portrayed here in this song was able to let go of whatever connection that she has on like this other person and their relationship, which shows emotional growth and maturity in my opinion. I feel like out of all the things here that she says, I feel like the most important thing that people should take away from this song is that it's not always the other person's fault. I mean, we're all capable of being toxic, and we could also do some hurtful things and say some wrong words to the other person as well. Not just them to us, but us to them as well, which is also a pretty big deal when it comes to like relationships and all that stuff, is admitting when you're wrong. And yeah, even after all of that, the person here was able to give forgiveness to the other person and just leave it at that all in the past. It was kind of like a stepping stone for like self-development, for like future relationships as well. The song was very gripping from start to finish. So yeah, so when it comes to Taylor Swift songs, I feel like it's a very 50-50 hit or miss kind of game. So either you relate to it or you like it or you don't. And on this one, I really relate to it and I really like the song as well. So yeah, pretty good track. Now the next song is called Dorothy, probably Dorothea, reference to Wizard of Oz maybe.
Hey Dorothea, do you ever stop and think about me?
Now this is another song that I could relate to since I haven't been to the Philippines since 2017 I guess. Since for like 3 years now. And this song shows the friend that's been left behind by the friend who went upstate or like to another country or something. And this song makes me miss my friends and my girlfriend, man. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, that was another pretty cool track. It felt like it was like a callback or something, like trying to call the person back home to you. I was really planning to go back to the Philippines this year, but COVID happened, so I'd probably need to wait until another year on like December before I can return again. But who knows. So yeah, another song that I've enjoyed and probably listening to it again. And out of all the songs here, I feel like this is the song where I'd come back to the most. So yeah, really like this one. Now next up is Coney Island featuring The National, and we're gonna go and listen to it.
Island wondering where did my baby go?
Cornelia Street maybe?
Last
The question pounds my head. What's a lifetime of achievement?
I felt like the feature was also a nice touch. The guy had a really deep voice, suited for like country songs and all that stuff. But you feel it's not too far from Taylor Swift's sound if you go like way back. So yeah, overall there was really nothing new to this song. The idea was pretty much explored on like the previous songs. Yeah, it was kind of like a filler song in a way. It was safe, I guess. Now this song also reminds me of the game Life is Strange for some reason. Now next track, Ivy.
I was one to know I'd meet you where the spirit meets the bones.
Now the song was kind of revolving around fighting for like her love or like her interest on this special someone. There was also like a hint of it on the lyrics, something about like the hand of her lover or like love interest being promised to another person, or like already engaged with someone. But yeah, so far the mood and the ambience of like the songs kind of like matches the picture here. Like it's foggy and humid and there's nothing much else to do but to just relax and take your time to reminisce some memories and some of that stuff. I mean, a coffee would be nice if I was in there. Again, if you like the song, feel free to listen to it. But for me, honestly, yeah, no, this is not for me. Cowboy Like Me. Let's go listen to it.
Perched in the dark, telling all the rich folks anything they wanna hear like it could be.
Now again, a pretty country-inspired track by Taylor Swift. Yeah, so for this one, I really feel like she's going back to her country roots again. So the song follows the story of like these two people where they're kind of like outlaws and they're trying to swindle some rich folks. Sets off this kind of like romantic Wild West kind of vibe. I'm not saying that I don't like it, but I'm not saying that I don't like it either. So long story short, let's go listen to it.
I just don't know what to say about this. Look, man, I just don't know what to say. Scott,
Yep.
it is rare that I am relatively speechless.
Now, next track, Marjorie.
Never be so clever, you forget to be kind.
I was also looking on the comment section of this song, and I've seen that this Marjorie person is Taylor Swift's grandmother, so correct me if I'm wrong on this one. Her grandmother was also inclined onto like the artistry and like the entertainment industry, especially to like acting and that kind of stuff. If it wasn't for this person, as well as the people around Taylor Swift, I feel like she would not also be pursuing this career. And look where she is now. And very humbling, I think, on her part as well, that she wouldn't be here now on like the peak of her career if it weren't for those people who supported her, especially her family. So yeah, being the Asian that I am, I could either be an engineer, accountant, a lawyer, a doctor, and any of that good stuff right there. So music is kind of like a taboo career when it comes to like Asians. So yeah, I was bought a guitar by my dad, and my mom listens to my guitar covers on this channel from time to time, but they don't really see it as kind of like a career pathway, kind of just like a hobby. Must be nice to have supporting family members such as this one, especially when it's like your parent or like your grandparent. Really means a lot to kids when you support their passion and let their talent bloom and shine. So yeah, I imagine bawling out to this song if it catches me off guard or something. But yeah, all in all, it's a pretty good track. Now we're up to the 14th track of this song, and this one is called Closure. And now let's go and listen to it.
It wasn't right, the way it all went down. Looks like you know that now.
I don't feel like the percussion going on in the background of the song matches the piano in this song. But you do you, Taylor Swift.
I know I'm just a wrinkle in your new life. Staying friends with, iron it out so nice. Guilty, guilty.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand Taylor Swift's stand on this song as well. I mean, not every situation that gets handed out to you by life is suited to the approach that the happiness song kind of provides. I mean, you also have to set out some boundaries between like the people that you know and know whether you need to give out forgiveness and all that stuff or just cut them all off completely. I mean, there are some people that are that toxic where you just need to cut them all off without any closure and all that stuff. Because if you do, the mental space as well as your mental health is gonna get compromised again. I mean, if you're already on a good place already and they're not, and you know that if you do give them that forgiveness, you're going to be sacrificing your own inner peace. I mean, it's better to be them than you. And I mean, yeah, it's kind of like a case-to-case basis. But if the person is really that toxic, I mean, it's better to just cut them all off completely without any words given. Just throw them out there. But I still don't really get the mixing between the industrial kind of like clashing sounds on the background as well as the piano. Maybe it's kind of like to signify the symbolism between the industrial clashing sounds. It kind of represents the chaos or like the conflict that's brewing, whether inside the character's head or the pain and suffering brought by this other person that's asking for closure. And then the piano kind of like represents the inner peace and like the resolve that Taylor Swift's character has on this song. I mean, there are also some parts where that industrial sound kind of like disappears for like some parts of the song, especially on like the chorus where she stands firm on like, I don't need your closure, kind of like signify that the inner peace has won. And yeah, screw your closure. I mean, we could argue whether the songs are boring or not, but we cannot deny Taylor Swift's songwriting ability, that's for sure. Yeah, so the last song is called Evermore, featuring Iver. Now they also had a track which is called Exile on the previous album, which is called Folklore. Now I could get by with the song being low, it's just that it was too slow for my taste. Sorry, Jaisal. So yeah, that was Evermore featuring Iver. I really felt like Iver really picked up the pace of this song. Now even though the thumbnail of this song is pretty bright, I really felt a hint of depression in this song. Even though there is that feeling of depression, I also felt like there was also maturity. Even though Taylor Swift was feeling down, she was still able to pick herself up by just telling herself that even though we're in a bad place today, things won't be like this forever. And make sure that when you get out of the sadness, you gotta pick up something from it and be a better person. So yeah, that was the album Evermore by Taylor Swift. So again, personally, this type of genre is not really my style. I'm more into the hip-hop, trap, R&B kind of thing at the moment. But there were also some songs in here that I really enjoyed. So yeah, for the most part, Taylor Swift songs in this album were pretty consistent music-wise. There was nothing going on that much on the production aspect of the song. I felt like they were just set up kind of like a stage for the true highlights of the songs, which are the lyrics. And as for the lyrics, there's nothing that I could say about it, to be honest. They were sophisticated and very poetic, so huge props to Taylor Swift for that. The lyrics were also very vivid when it comes to portraying a picture on like the listeners' heads, especially when it comes to the songs such as Nobody No Crime and Cowboy Like Me. And yeah, I really felt like this album was also kind of like a showcase between her skills as a musician and as a songwriter, as well as her personal growth when it comes to like handling relationships. Was pretty transparent regarding her growth as a person, especially as a woman. So I think that was also kind of like an issue for me, since this album was also pretty feminine. So I really had a hard time when it comes to relating to her. So yeah, I also felt like that was also my personal issue with this album, as the album was pretty feminine, which is pretty understandable. I mean, this is an album which shows her growth as a woman as well. So yeah, aside from her loyal fan base, I really feel like the new listeners, especially the women, are gonna enjoy this more compared to the men. And yeah, don't feel bad about the rating. I mean, I'm a guy who prefers rap, hip-hop, and R&B anyway. If you disagree with the rating or something, please comment down below and I'll discuss it with you guys. So yeah, this is the end of the reaction video. Thank you guys for reaching this far into the video. Really appreciate it very much. And please leave a like if you've enjoyed it so that I'll know. And if you would like to watch another reaction video of mine, please click either of these two right here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.